Yes, yes, yes. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond Babbitt. And this is your host, Brian Anthony. How's everybody doing today? Hope all is going well. Another wet day around here. One moment, please. Well, all right. So, welcome back to Babbitt. Thanks again to all my new subscribers. I'm so glad to have y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. So what's been going on? So much, so much, so much. It looks like some of the reporting we've been doing has been right. Spot on, hasn't it? Yeah. One more second, please. Well, all right. So, it's been so much happening since since my last broadcast. Oh, something. Okay. There's so much happening since my last broadcast. Good morning, Fatal Gamer. And just so much happening, period, man, in the world. So we know that after they fix the keys for the internet, I can fix the keys. Not only did the internet go down in certain areas sporadically, YouTube went down for 2 hours all over the world. Amazon has went down. Number of cell phone carriers have went down. The number of cable companies. See, I told you. It'll be done. It'll be sporadically. It'll be in pockets. Was going to take it all down at one time, but it's just getting ready for the big thing, the takeover, the control grid. We're there. So again, thank y'all for joining this broadcast. We'll go ahead and get started. I want to talk about the object that struck the moon, or is rumored to have struck the moon. That's supposed to be the reality of it, which happened a few days ago, which maybe happened a few years ago. And then we'll get into a dream I had of an object striking the moon over 10 years ago. So now, this is the thing. Let's talk about, they're saying that YouTube was shut down. It's rumored to have been shut down because they said there was a military guy who made a public service announcement that either they were expecting the moon to get hit or the moon had been hit, and it was going viral, and they supposedly axed it, basically shut down the internet, deleted that and all other copies of it that existed on the internet. And some people were saying, well, if it was going that viral, it would have already been on other platforms. It would have been shared on this social media, that social media, and other, different websites and so on and so forth. I don't know about that. I didn't see that one. What I did see, there's a guy named Blue KoolAid on you. Before the internet went down, he released a video. He has the what do you call it? Some like Solara. I don't know. Some type of software where he watches the stars, the moon, and the sun on the computer. I forgot the name of the darn software, but he had footage of something smack the moon. It hit the moon like pow, and bounced off and knocked something off, and dust came off. I watched the video before the internet went down. Um, Tried to find it again the other day since the internet has come back up. Since YouTube, I'm sorry, has come back up. The video has been removed, and he's apologizing. He said it was a bad story, that the clip he showed was from 2 years ago or something, and I didn't hear about anything hitting the moon 2 years ago, but that's what he's saying. Well, he apologized. He took it down, and he just left a picture of where something had hit the moon and bounced off, but the video is gone. That video is no longer, and the guy's name is Blue KoolAid on you. He had it up. It is no longer there since YouTube was returning. I understand that's a lot of pressure to stand up under. You know what I mean? So he's retracting the story and has removed the video. I know that much for a fact. I don't know about the guy in the military who was supposed to be the one giving the warning, but I do know that this guy, Blue KoolAid on you, had a video like that up, and it's since been removed, and he since retracted the story. You gotta stand up under that pressure sometimes, and sometimes you gotta choose your battles. And these are the things we're all gonna have to go through. Okay, so now let's get into my dream. It had to be around, excuse me, somewhere around 2005. I believe that's when Katrina was. Right after Katrina, not too long after Katrina. I had a dream, and I'll never forget it because I saw the moon. It was one of those big orange moons. It wasn't the big yellow one. It was a big orange moon. And I was walking at night. And this one, see the guy on the Stellarium or whatever software he had, Blue KoolAid on you, his showed it looked like maybe it was an asteroid or something that smacked the moon. In my dream, something had shot up from the earth like a missile, and it hit the bottom of the moon, and it knocked moon dust. It knocked a lot of stuff off, and whatever it knocked off, the particles sprayed to earth. And the moon had an upside down mohawk after that. It had an upside down mohawk. Now, this is in my dream. And the dust had some adverse effect on the inhabitants of the earth. It did something, but the moon dust, whatever that missile or whatever that thing was that hit it in my dream, it knocked a big chunk out of the moon, which gave it an upside down mohawk at the bottom of the moon, and the dust was spread all over the earth. And then I saw at that time that when the dust hit the earth, it was like it may have activated something because the people, I don't know what happened, but it was like the people were almost like a civil war, like looters and all type of stuff was going on at that time. And at that time, I had a dream that I just so happens that I had some weapons stored away. And the people around me didn't have any, but I had enough for everybody that I was able to hand them out. So that was just, back then I thought maybe that was something for me to be prepared, because we never know what's going to happen in the world. Preparedness, and think about provisions for others as well. Yeah, that dream was basically about some self-defense, because later some people came and they were looking around, and I don't know I can't remember if they were armed or not, but they were coming in, sneaking around, trying to see what they could steal or see who they could attack, and we had to repel them. So I mean, that's pretty much the dream in a nutshell. I have it written down somewhere. I have a lot of the dreams I have. My grandmother taught me that because a lot of her dreams used to come true. When me or any of my siblings did something, one or both of my grandmothers, like on my mom's side, my grandmother and my great grandmother used to have dreams that used to come true, and they know different things. One time, my grandmother had a dream about my brother when he was in the streets doing stuff he wasn't supposed to. Had a dream that he got caught and went to prison, and it wasn't just a few days later he got caught, but it just so happened he threw the drugs, and he was almost on his way to prison. But that dream might have saved him, you know, until he was able to slow down and get out the way. And so my grandmother always said, when you have one of those dreams that that's eerie like that, when you wake up in the middle of the night, or it just stays on your mind, you should write it down because you have all the details. Write it down while it's fresh. You have all the details, right? Every detail, because in dreams, every component of it means something. See, sometimes you'll have a dream and you won't even know the interpretation of your own dream. I mean, you can tell what you think it means to others, but it may not be even remotely close to what you think it means. Just because you got the dream doesn't mean that you'll have the interpretation of it. So all the details are important. So make sure that if you ever have a dream like that, write the details down because they are important. So I didn't even look for it. I have a lot of stacks of stuff around, but that was the dream. And the dust, something hit the moon, smacked the moon, upside down mohawk, and the dust spread over the earth, and then the people on the earth kind of went crazy. So do y'all think that that's what happened with the YouTube? Do you think that that it was a fear that, just to prevent the panic, that they shut down YouTube, and that's why they shut down we can't remember. I mean, we can't forget about the Sunspot Observatory in New Mexico that they had shut down, and a number of the satellites out there. And matter of fact, that guy, the video blew KoolAid on you before, right? Before he took the video down, the first part of the video he showed, it was showing that planet, and it had a halo around it. It was real big and blue. Let's see, that video is gone now. So what I'm saying is, I watched a couple of videos last night to where the YouTubers had to actually speak in code to avoid the algorithms to lock that video in, because it's showing a light source that looks similar to the sun rising in the west. Bright. Okay, but the sun sets in the west. It goes down in the west. But this light source is rising in the west. And then they show the sun rising in the east. We don't have two suns, guys. Something is going on. Exactly. We may never know the truth. So something is going on. So we may need to look at some reinterpretations or reinterpret the scriptures, because I'm sure a lot of these events, just like some people be like, oh, America is not in the Bible. Come on, man. A country that's done so much, that's responsible so much, that's broken so many records, introduced so many things to the world, that's, there's no way that it's not in the Bible. See what I'm saying? And I understood a long time ago that it's Mystery Babylon. I mean, the word America, no, that's not in the Bible. But at that time, when they were describing it, when they were talking about it, and the people in it, the inhabitants, and the things that would go on, America fits every check mark. It's America. It's the United States of America. Mystery Babylon. That's why it's Mystery Babylon. Yes, sir. And So I think that, who was that? The prophet Amos, who said, "Surely the Lord God will do nothing unless He first reveal His actions to His servants, the prophets." Right, right. So I don't think that He would have left us in the dark to where these planets and all this stuff is coming, and because we've always had our mind to see the end or to see the scriptures prophetically fulfilling in a certain way. It may not be the way we saw it. That's just the way we thought it'll play out. Maybe it, I know one thing. When he put the stars and the sun and the firmament and stuff up there, they're for signs. He definitely said that. He specifically said that. They are for signs. And we got this big planet. See, I know about Nibiru. I've studied the ancient Sumerian text through Dr. Zachariah Sitchin, Genesis Revisited, and a number of other books. The planet comes around every 3,600 years. And you have to see the play on sixes here, right? 3,600 years. 6 times 6 is 36, right? There's 60 seconds in a minute. There's 60 minutes in an hour. 24 hours in a day. 6 times 4 is 24. So I'm saying, why does the earth deal with threes and sixes like that? 3 and 6 is 9. 9 hides 3 sixes. 6 is the number of man. Man was created on the sixth day. You have to see the play on these numbers. Everything means something here. So this planet happens to come around every 3,600 years. And some saying, or some are saying that it could be what they call the destroyer. The Sumerians say that their gods, the Anunnaki, came off of this planet, and it's a winged disk planet. There may be some stuff following behind it. Some are saying that Revelation 6, you may want to relook at that because it's behold the pale horse, you know, and then his name that sitteth on him is death, and hell follows with him. They're saying like these are the planets. They're saying this because hell in that passage seems like a entity. It's something. You know what I'm saying? Hell follows with him. We always thought hell was a fixed place beneath the earth, which it could be. There could be a heaven above and a heaven below, a hell above and a hell below. We know that there are waters above and waters below. We don't know. So this is what we need to try to figure out. This planet has to have been, so far, when we look at all the myths from the Greek mythology, Kemet or Egypt, Mizraim, whatever you want to call it, the Sumerians, a lot of the ancient Indians from the Aztecs, Incas, Mayas, Hopis, they've all prophesied of the Nephilim or the giants, these beings. You could study the ancient alien technology, stuff like that. You see spaceships, Ezekiel's wheel, the wheel within a wheel. What was that? What was that thing? Right? It was like a gyroscope, like some type of spaceship. Egyptian gods, right? Right. Actually, Sumeria is older than Egypt. So the Sumerian gods. I don't know if you know about the 10 kings that supposed to have been from Lemuria, like fallen angels that ruled the world years ago. And then the gods of in the Vedas in India, they talk about a nuclear war. The evidence has been found. Some areas around the world, there are craters. The craters are glass. I say that because sand turns into glass. You heat sand up to a certain degree, a certain temperature, and it actually turns to glass. And in areas where there's a nuclear blast, a nuclear impact, something hits the boom, the whole crater would be glassed out because of the heat from the nuclear weapon. So there was something here before Adam got here. Before, the I'm sorry, guys, the evolution thing just doesn't play out. When you find these devices and these inventions, and even the giants, yeah, they found those as well. It doesn't you can't fit an evolution into that. It's definitely had to be created. Um, I know by who, but they're trying to. All these little beings are trying to say that they created us. Have you ever heard of Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent, winged serpent, who basically ruled the Americas? And when who was that? He left. He ruled the Americas. He was supposed to be a giant winged serpent, plumed serpent, tight snake scales with feathers, and he wore big sunglasses. And he left one day, and he said he'd be back. And that's why that the quote-unquote indigenous Indians, Aborigine, whatever you call it, didn't fight when Cortez came. They thought it was Quetzalcoatl coming back. Yeah. Now, they say all the ufologists, the UFO watchers, they say that there's a race of aliens that are reptilians. These are the fallen. These are the fallen. It could be cherubim, fallen angels. Who knows? I mean, and then America, you know about Amaru. Okay, so think about the guy named Tupac Shakur, right? His name was Tupac Amaru Shakur. Okay, so his name was not original. He was named of an ancient Indian warrior named Tupac Amaru. Those words put together mean shining serpent. Amaru was really the name of the Americas, serpent. Amaru Ka. They say, oh no, it was named from Amerigo Vespucci. Amaru Ka. So this might have been the land of the serpent. They may have worshipped a winged serpent god in the Americas. Do some history, do some research on that. So why was YouTube actually shut down, guys? I mean, where are you located? Let's help each other out. Do this, because I had a few people when I first reported that the internet was going down and that all this could go down. Oh, you had some doubters, some naysayers. And then some people were in the comments to my, well, it's been 48 hours. Nothing happened. Mm-hmm. Whole lot's happened, hasn't it? So if you don't mind, leave in the comments below where you are, if you had any problems with your internet, with Wi-Fi, with a cell phone, with other websites, or anything going down. And we can try to kind of judge how widespread the problem has been. It was down in Atlanta. Wow. Okay, so and a number of different things has it's affected a number of different things. So it wasn't either they're still testing everything because they need to have their finger on the button to where they can take everything down, grid down scenario. And they also have it to where they can compartmentalize and take little, maybe just one little city, one little town, 1, 2, or 3 little square blocks, take that down with the button and then bring it up. So once they get all these tests and they know that they have control, or they can control the grid, take it down and bring it up whenever, all bets are off. This is it, guys. And I've been trying to look for this. There's no. He can get this revenge. Yeah, he's definitely going to be. A lot of stuff he said is starting to make a lot more sense now. You know how they tried to demonize Alex Jones, like he's a kook and conspiracy theorist and things like that. Only experience YouTube issue. Okay. So I was trying to find. I've read the Quran, not the entire thing, but a good piece of it, a good majority of it. And I believe somewhere, either in that or some other ancient text I was reading, it was talking about 2 sons. They were seeing 2 sons. And I was back then, I was like, oh, this fantasy stuff. But maybe it wasn't so fantasy after all. I mean, but I don't know, because the Prophet Muhammad, which is responsible for bringing about the Quran, was born, what, 570 years after the Messiah, after the Christ, after Yeshua, Jesus. So Jesus was 2,000 years ago. So it hasn't been quite 3,600 years. So I don't know how he would know, or speaking of Muhammad, how he would know or would have seen the planet. You know, it's every 3,600 years. Wormwood. Oh yeah, it's gonna hit. So if anybody knows of a, it may have been in the Quran, or it may have been some other text that I was reading. I can't remember and I can't find it. If anyone knows, in any ancient scripts, manuscripts, text that talks about the two sons, could you send that to me? Because I'd like to refresh my memory and discuss that a little more. Because this thing that's in the sky, right? I notice whenever it's showing up, they're chemtrailing right under it, so you can't see nothing but light. But the thing is letting off huge rays, like pink rays. No, I don't think it was Nostradamus. It was like pink sun rays coming off of this thing, but it's like it's creating its own dark smoke. It reminds me of KoolAid. The earth became void. I know I didn't get a lot of views on that. I had reposted something that I did a while back. But KoolAid, the earth became void. Darkness was on the face of the deep. See, in Genesis, the water was here and the darkness was here. You notice in the creation story. The water was here and the darkness was here. And then he said, let there be light. You see what I'm saying? Where did the water come from? See? And why was it dark? KoolAid, that kind of darkness. We went over that, and you have to watch the video. It's a lot of information in it. It is biblical text. I basically came from the Bible, and I believe I went to some other historical documents. But the KoolAid, there's several words for darkness in Scripture, in the Old Testament. But KoolAid also means like wickedness. Also means like misery. You know, vacuity. It's a lot of things that KoolAid or Choshek. They say that the CHO is not pronounced Cho in Hebrew. It's Ko. But why you spell it with a CH then? So KoolAid, Chosek, whatever. It's coming. The darkness is coming. And you can remember Noah's day, Moses' days, when they were fighting, the serpents were biting, and the darkness that you could feel, the thick darkness. Think about what they're doing now, CERN, and they're trying to study dark matter. You see what I'm saying? The dark side of the moon. They're saying that this dark matter, a little vial of dark matter this big, can explode with the force of a nuclear bomb. You know what I'm saying? Several hundred megatons. Yeah. And they're saying that the dark matter could open up a black hole and just start eating everything and never stop. And it could consume the earth in darkness. In KoolAid. And Choshek. So what do you think, guys? You think this is what's coming? I mean, leave a comment down below. What do you think we're dealing with here? Right. Pink Floyd. I remember they had the song about the dark side of the moon. There actually is a dark side of the moon that's supposed to be covered in this dark matter. But the dark matter, it has to be contained because it's highly unstable and it can explode. And when CERN first started trying to squeeze the nectar of dark matter, should I say, entities were appearing in the computers. Entities from other dimensions, you know, trying to get through. You see what I'm saying? This power that they're trying to, we can't control this power. We don't need this power. Nuclear is bad enough. You see that they say Japan, after the Fukushima, when was that? 8 years ago? Okay, so Japan is completely contaminated with radiation. A lot of that stuff leaked in the ocean. That's why we're experiencing a lot of the problems we're having there. And Japan is now full again with nuclear waste, and they said they're going to flush it into the ocean. Yeah, they just said this a day or two ago. Recently. The half-life of that radiation is at least 50 years, which means it's going to be full strength, poisoning everything for at least 50 years. That's radiation, man. So what's going to happen is, you remember the cartoons you used to watch, and the gamma ray would get hit a fish or something, and it'll woo 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 with a big monster fish. What you think gonna happen? All the little stuff in the ocean, little seahorses, it's gonna be the size of a dinosaur when they get full of that radiation. And you're gonna be like, well, that's food we can eat. Yeah, you eat it if you want to. It's still radioactive. Yes, sir. Thank you, Devil Dog. Yes, sir. Yeah, 1,000 subs, man. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks to all the watchers, man. Appreciate y'all. We hit that 1,000 milestone. Now we finna head. We throwing some big numbers up. We don't want to just go to 1,000. We want 2,000. We want to go to 10,000. We gonna get to 10. We gonna keep going. We going for the millions, but just a step at a time. You know what I'm saying? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. So it was hard getting to that 1,000. Believe it or not, you know. But I enjoyed it every step of the way. Yeah, and I just enjoy that. You know, I appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all appreciate me, man, and hope we can spread the word. Like, share, comment, subscribe. They're trying to lock the information away. They got the internet now to where they can easily scrub information. I even understand that Google and that platform is hiring moderators to delete comments, even from like the live chat stream, things that they don't want to get out. So they're gonna control, since China has been put over ICANN, has been put over the UN, has been put over the world as the new superpower. The censorship is going to be astronomical, unbelievable. You know, you think North Korea is bad. China's worse than that. China's worse than that. You're not going to be able to worship your God or as a penalty of imprisonment or a penalty of death. Isn't that straight out of the book of Revelation? So, with the keys, they're able to, like I said, compartmentalize. John X. Army, yeah, I watched John X. Army. So with the internet keys that they just changed, they're able to compartmentalize you even more. Even more. You no longer have access to the full internet. They're breaking it smaller and smaller pieces. The only way it can get out is peer-to-peer, person to person, sharing it, sending it, and everybody's sending it. Each one sending one. Each one teach one. Other than that, I found a secret too, and I'll get this out to any other YouTubers. When you have a controversial video, you know, tags, the hashtags and just tags, you put these on your video to help people find them, to help your videos get out there, right? To help them grow. Okay, I didn't watch them last night. I'll go watch them. And so now the tags hold your videos back. I did an experiment. I was tagging my videos with these words that are supposed to send it in, you know, viral. And it'll get so far and it'll freeze with not another view, period, for weeks and months at a time. To my freeze. I'm like, I've never seen that before. But then I have some videos, just title it right, no tags at all. Boop, goes to the top. Wow. See, so they're using those tag words to help censor you. You see what I'm saying? Certain words you can put in a tag or hashtag that they'll, boop, oh no, they hold that down. Yours is not going to get over this number. Nobody's going to see this again for a year. Just not another. It'll be climbing and bloop, and just stop. Oh, wow, that's strange. Usually when they're starting to get momentum and start climbing, they keep going. But they just get in and boop, and that's it. So now I've learned that tags may hold you back. I've never heard anything like that. Yeah. So Especially if you put in anything in there about World War III, anything about China, New World Order, stuff like that. Oh, they're gonna censorship, tags, hashtag. Oh no, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, they don't want us to know at all. So the key, the thing to get around that, the way to get around that is to share. Like, share, subscribe, put it on as many platforms as possible. A lot of these other platforms are starting to purge as well. You know, Facebook, what was that the other day? Purged 800 accounts. I mean, some people had like millions of subscribers. They just purged it. Oh no. Why? Why? Did I break any rules? You don't have to break no rules. We just don't like what you're saying. You telling people that stuff we don't want them to know. They're trying to dumb us down. You see what I'm saying? But yes, sir. Thank you, thank you. So a lot of things are going to be rolling out here shortly, man. I don't know if you believe in. I don't know if you think we're alone or not. Whatever your views on it are, however they spin it, they're going to be announcing that we're not alone. However they introduce whatever else is out there, they're probably going to say it's the aliens, the friendly aliens. They're here to help us and all of this stuff. But they've been here. We're using their technology, and we'll get into nano. I've been looking really hard into the nanotechnology, and we're just full of it. Our bodies are full of it. Oh, Pope Rome. Speaking of that, the Pope got invited to North Korea. That's big, big news. Why? North Korea is like China. It's a communist country. You know how the Dalai Lama can't even go back to China, and China has disdain for anybody who accepts the Dalai Lama in that country. You know, like the Buddhist man. And so China's persecuting Christians, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists. If you have a religion that believe in a higher power, China's persecuting. Prison, death, you know, just doing you bad. So now North Korea is like China, the communist country. You actually worship the head of North Korea, Kim Jong Un, as a god. Yes, king and god. So you're not allowed to have religion there. But he has invited the Pope to come to North Korea. Now, from my understanding, they say that the Pope doesn't visit any country that he basically doesn't control or doesn't have power, doesn't rule over. So maybe China's lost control of North Korea. Maybe the CIA are actually out of there, and they're going to bring North Korea into the New World Order under the Pope, under that structure, because we know there has to be an Antichrist and there has to be a false prophet. So you got the City of London, which runs the financial section. You have the Vatican. Now, the City of London is not London City. Don't get that twisted. They're two different things. The City of London is like the Vatican. It's like Washington, D.C. It's its own entity. It's subject to no laws of any country anywhere. They have their own. So the City of London is the financial head. The Vatican is the religious head. And Washington, D.C. is the military head. That's how they thought they were going to bring it in. But Russia and China got a different idea. You know, the Vatican might stay around. Because you know the Vatican was even talking to, like, high-ranking imams, Muslims, and stuff like that. And they're accepting them. You see what I'm saying? But the Quran says God has no son. You see what I'm saying? So why would the Quran, the Muslims accept the Pope when they don't even believe the same things? You see? They're trying to lock this thing in, man. The Pope is going to be like the false prophet for the whole world. He's probably going to get everybody to worship the quote unquote aliens or whatever they tell us these things are. Whether either they're going to tell us it's some good aliens or these are the gods that created us and seeded the earth or whatever they tell us. The Pope is in on it. He wants us to, and they may even try to tell us, this is the return of the Buddha. This is the return of the Messiah. This is the return of the Mahdi. This is the return of Akhenaten, Kemet, Muhammad, Egypt, who knows? But the Pope is in on it. Yeah, exactly. Trying to baptize the aliens. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, with my studying, like I said, I read a lot of different history and myths and things like that. And a lot of them talks of the same things. These things have to be, whatever they're going to introduce them as, these have to be the fallen. These have to be the fallen angels and the demons, the Nephilims. And where do they get these bodies? I don't know. I don't know about all that. This is the technology, the ships. I don't know about all that. I know about Scripture talks about how a lot of the stuff, the technology that they ride in is covered in clouds. When God comes, they say He coming in clouds. So a lot of the stuff that's up there that people have been seeing, different spaceships or whatever, they'll be camouflaged by clouds. If you notice, even the SpaceX launch, whatever that thing was, you see how it was able to produce a cloud? Man, we're being deceived, man. That was no launch, man. I don't care what you say. Yes, exactly. That was no launch. If it was a launch, they would have showed the rocket. The fire boosters come on. It lifted up. No, they just showed something rising and doing tricks and opening a wormhole and people, clapping like it's a magic trick or something. Man, I bet it was some demons or something. You know? Shoot, man. We in the last days. Now, censorship has to go to 110. They can't let this get out until they reveal it to us. They have to paint the narrative to us. They don't want us to figure it out. They don't want us to. At the end of the day, the bottom line is going to be good versus evil. They're going to try to trick you to take. I don't know if I reveal this or not, but the high level Masons, they teach that Lucifer is God. You see? And that the real God, YHWH, Yud Hey Wav Hey, Yahweh, Yahweh, well, the many different one names. They say, oh no, that's not the real God. They say that's like the evil God. That's the devil. See how they twisting it? So some people are gonna be like worshiping Lucifer, that's the good God. And then some people are like, no, Lucifer the bad, the devil. And then they're gonna say, oh, Yah is the good God. And the other one's like, no, Yah is the devil. See the confusion? But they're going to paint the narrative. So everybody's all happy about, oh, Trump. Trump put the U.S. consul in Jerusalem. Oh, he's good for Israel. This and that and this and that. Well, that's not Israel. Those are the Israelis. That word is not in Scripture. Israeli, it's a new word. See, back then it was Israelite. They were Hebrews. You could have called them Jews. It was really Jews, Judah, one tribe, and they named the land after Judea. And then the Israelites. Israeli is new. The people there are new. Yeah, the nation called Khazaria. Why isn't it around anymore? Because the inhabitants moved from one area to another area. Took on a new identity. Identity theft is nothing new, guys. It's been happening. And you wonder how they got control, how they run everything. Yeah. Oh man, I just found out. Let me something else happened. Now there's been a couple of doctors who died recently. Uh-oh, my battery about to die. Okay, well let me finish this statement. Okay, so we know that George Bush Sr., his old doctor was murdered on his bike. And then there was another doctor, famous doctor who, I'm trying to see who they were working on, died on a bike. But just recently here, I'm going to type this in right quick. And you know what? I'll leave this in the link. My battery's about to die. Let me say this right quick. Let me find it. Let me find it. Oh, here it is right here. Former Air Force sergeant who claimed he saw NASA photos of an alien base on the far side of the moon dies after a tractor trailer hit his bike. Hit him on his bike. That's the way they've been killing people lately. Run you over or shoot you while you bicycling. So I'll leave this in the comment section below. And who was that I was watching? I was watching somebody, maybe John X Army. I don't know who. Somebody who said that a couple of years ago, a picture got out, a video got out on YouTube of a quote unquote alien with a cell phone doing the selfie of themselves, all on live. And they shut the internet down and deleted that, and that's nowhere to be found anymore. I didn't see that. I just heard that recently. But I'm going to go ahead and post this right now. This former Air Force sergeant who claimed he saw NASA photos of an alien base on the far side of the moon, dead. He's dead. See, they kill the information. If they can't kill the information, they kill the messenger. I'm going to post this right now. Okay, guys, I just put that in there for you. Interesting. We're in interesting days here. We're not going to know the truth. They're getting ready to, they can't hold it back any longer. They can't hold it back any longer, so they want to control it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they will silence people, and that's why I think about Alex Jones, man. I mean, he's still putting stuff out, but they're slowly trying to smother his voice. Once they do that, man, he needs to up his security. Because they may even try to infiltrate that because they're gonna say, "Oh, Alex Jones was suicidal," or maybe he'll be bicycling or going swimming or something. Who knows? But that's the reality we're living in. These people are desperate. Oh, did you see the guy? The woman got charged for leaking the Manafort stuff to BuzzFeed. Oh, it's starting to happen. All these indictments. See, the governor of Puerto Rico got indicted for fraud by the FBI. Oh, it's starting to happen, man. So all the 50,000 indictments that they've been talking about, a lot of these people finna start. And when they get them, they're going to turn the screws on them. They're going to pinch them. Like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? We're going to give you 40 years. Unless you tell us who did it. Tell us who said it or whatever. And we'll take it easy on you. It rolls up here. In this case, they say, yeah, they dropped it today. Uh-oh, Venezuela has dropped the U.S. dollar. Japan sold the U.S. treasuries yesterday, and Saudi Arabia may be becoming a new U.S. enemy over the journalist that was killed, that's missing. Oh, we'll get into that later. I don't want to get this too long, but they're arresting people now. The 50,000 sealed secret indictments is going to be a lot of people going to jail. It's already starting. Oh, and stocks are down today. I told y'all, man. September 28th. Since that day, we've only had 3 up days. And then when it was up, it was really, really up. But it's been falling, falling. It'll have a big fall, then come up, and then it'll be flat, and then a big fall. But at the end of the day, guys, this is it for the dollar. This is it. We got, what is this, October? We got November, and we got December. You watch and see. The economists wasn't just saying that these people go through with their plans, guys. They're already ready. They know what's going to happen. It's us who, you know, take it as a joke. Oh, nothing ain't going to happen. And when it happens, you look at them like, what am I going to do? Hmm. Less than 90 days. I believe it. I did a video about that. Did several of them about that. I've been calling the crash since March. Called it in at the end of September through the end of the year. This is it. Go look at some of my old videos. But yeah, guys, we need to be on the lookout. A lot of things are happening. They're taking control of everything. Everything. There's going to be a lot more outages. They're testing it to see what they can take down. Flu season is going to be hell this year. Um, the planet is coming. The winged disk planet is coming. It's being seen really well in Latin America, South America, Central America, and the West Coast, from California up. And it's coming from the Southwest. It reminds me when President O was in office, he turned off our southern border observatory thing. Like we had satellites that could watch the south. He turned it off. I thought maybe it was, maybe he wanted to turn it off so we can get invaded. Like China and Russia could either nuke us and sneak in troops and we couldn't see them. They could fly, They turned off the radar detector thing for the whole south of the U.S. when President O was in. Now I come to realize it maybe was because they wanted to hide the arrival of this planet and the host of heaven, these things that's coming, whatever it is, they wanted to hit you with by surprise, delay people knowing about it as long as possible, not seeing it, not worrying about it. But now you got people in the West that are seeing two suns. They're seeing the sun rising in the West, rising in the West. And then they're seeing that same bright object that looks like a sun. It's white though. It's orange and it's white. It's sometimes it's setting in the east. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes that thing in the moon will be out at the same time. That thing in the sun will be out at the same time. And sometimes all three of them are out at the same time. It has a halo around it. Corot 7b. COROT 7b. Or you could say KOROT 7b. It's here, man. Nibiru. It has to be close to the 3600 years. They thought it would be back in 2000. They were 18 years off, maybe 19. We don't know how far it is, how many light years. We know it's big. It's bigger than the moon. It's bigger than the sun. For all you who don't know, the Saturn used to be a sun. Yeah, maybe in one of the creations. I say one of the creations because let's go back to Genesis. In the beginning of Genesis, the water was here and the darkness was here. According to the Sumerians, Tiamat and Marduk and some of these planets collided. Boom! And that's why the earth became void. And that's why God had to rebuild it and recreate the light, let there be light, and start all over again. And then this time he put mankind on earth. There was something on earth before that. That's why he said, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Replenish is to refill. Yes, definitely. Replenish is to refill. So that means it had to be something here before that. Because you don't say replenish. If I got an empty cup and I say, can I get a refill? It's not a refill if I never had anything in there. You know what I mean? So if I just get a cup and it's my first time getting a cup, I'm going to say fill it. not refill it. So that's the replenish. Anyway, guys, I don't want to keep y'all, but we'll probably come back and talk about some other things that they're hiding, keeping from us that we need to be aware of. We need to let each other know. I'm trying to wake these zombies up, man. You know, there's still some people saying, "Ah, this ain't gonna happen. Ah, that ain't gonna happen. Oh, I ain't gonna be here. I'm gonna be raptured out." Man, all them people that got caught in them fires in California, you don't think any of them were Christian? You think anybody was raptured out? How about in Hawaii, the volcano and all that stuff? You think anybody was raptured out? How about in Indonesia? Was anybody raptured out? How about these hurricanes that's been hitting? Anybody raptured out? All the catastrophes happening around the world. Life, death, destruction, natural disasters. Yeah, I saw that. Cecil Sparks. Yeah, you sent me that, man. They trying to put a hex on Kavanaugh, man. And people don't even believe, you know, even most of the churches that, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Don't believe in no witchcraft. You don't believe that it's such thing as a devil? You don't believe that the devil has power? Come on, man. Shh. Anyway, yeah, there's so much going on right now. And they don't want us to know. First of all, they don't want us to believe. But just, do you believe in magic? Think of that. Think of that. They want you to believe in magic. But you don't. And I'm not saying believe in it like trust in it. I'm saying that you should know that it's true. That things could happen. People can use supernatural powers. And that's what 5G is, man. 5G, brother. It's fourth dimension type stuff. It's stuff that don't make sense. Do you know that we are already using, you got nanobots in you, nanotechnology all in your bloodstream. We need to detox this stuff. Oh man, smart dust. Man, they plan this stuff out to the T, man. And it's quote unquote alien technology, man. You know, they got uh, like nanoparticle gloves and nanoparticle boots that if you put them on, you can stick your hand in water and the glove will come up dry. You can stick your hand in mud and it'll come up dry. What I'll do is I'll find that video and I'll put that in the, because I got it on here somewhere. I just got to find it. I'll put one of those videos up about the nano. It's good things to nano and it's bad things to nano. If you spray your car with like a nano coat, you can wet your car up in the water, just beat it. You touch it, it will dry. Like, wow, it's like magic. Of course it is. It's more than what we think it is. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go now. Again, thanks to all my subscribers, man. Let me know. Keep me abreast of what's going on. Leave comments. Share, subscribe. And I may come back with a video. I want to start doing a lot more videos. Especially on a day like this. Oh, the stock market is down again. Even if it comes back up, overall it's going to be down. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I will tell you to look into the business cycle. No one has ever beat it. 10 years is the max. And this is the 10th year so we got to December. You're going to see a big crash. Make up your own mind, your own decision. It's your future. Anyway, I need to get Twitter. I've been saying I'm just not really a big social media guy. I have Facebook. I rarely get on it. I really don't like it that much. I like YouTube. But I've been saying I was going to get on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff because that's where everybody seems to be. Man, I just dread doing it. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to try my best. Pray for me. Anyway, guys, it's been good talking to y'all. I might come back a couple of times a day. I'm going to try to start doing more and more. Yeah, I heard that now that some certain platforms track your location, But, man, we're going to be tracked anyway, man. They're going to find a way to, everything's recorded. We just have to act like we're always under the spotlight. So if they want to get you for something you've done in your life, they can go back 20 years and find something, and pull it out and be like, I'm like, man, I don't even remember doing that. Yeah. Anyway, Glad y'all could join. Like, share, subscribe. Probably be back a few times a day. I want to start doing a lot more. There's a lot of news to get out. A lot of exciting things happening. Anyway, guys, Beyond Babbitt, over and out. Be safe.